This is here is Cameron Clark. He, as you can see, he works for GYT 90. But we're up here at his farm. He recently acquired here in North Arkansas, and it's what? How many acres?
45.
45 acres, mostly wooded.
Probably 40 of it's wooded, yeah.
40 of it's wooded. So we got five acres or so of brush fields and food plots and stuff like that. But basically, what we're going to do today is we're just going to kind of walk around, get an eye for the place, and we're just going to see, he's got an idea where the bucks are moving and stuff like that, but he just kind of wanted a second opinion, and we're going to have a walk around before it gets too hot today. It's going to be in the low 90s, so
Yeah,
I mean, it's
warm
going to be hot.
up for sure.
We may be taking a dip in a pond over here before it's all said and done, but just stay with us today, and we're going to do a little walking around. We'll look at some food plots and some stand sites and just roll from there.
Sounds good, man.
Hopefully we don't get stung to death.
Oh, okay.
All right, bud. Guys, I'm just gonna let Cameron kind of tell you what we got going on here. It's one of his little kill plots he's got going.
Yeah, just for a quick rundown, kind of what we got going on here. We're standing in a food plot, slightly less than half an acre,
Yeah,
maybe.
probably about a half acre.
Really the scenario, how it's laid out, if you directly behind us, all that timber has been logged within the last 20 years. It's really thick, nasty, growing up bedding area stuff. And then, like I said, we got this food plot here that I planted in wheat, getting ready to come in and work on this year's crop for it. But in this area you see behind us, I've got a stand set up kind of in a staging area. So my idea behind it is let them bed and all the big nasty stuff, have food for them here, and try to have that stand catching them coming and going back and forth.
Yeah, I like that idea, and kind of as we were walking in, he's got kind of a right of way up here on the hill, and it kind of dips down, and you've got probably 70 yards worth of woods between the two of them.
Yeah, probably so.
It'd be a real good, there's a logging road going through. He said there's an active scrape that happens every year right there, so you could feasibly plant this in a fall attractant that I was talking with him and recommending Drop Tine Seed. They've got what's called Full Draw 7, and it's a real good fall mix, and you could throw in some Grand Slam clover with that, which is an annual. Yep. It's an annual clover, but it reseeds real heavily, so you shouldn't have a problem with it coming back year after year.
Yeah.
And this would make this just a gravy spot for a bow hunting stand, and you could use this as your logging road to get to more of a perennial, make it a clover and chicory, maybe the Black Label Legume and chicory. Get that as your, your year after year. That's kind of where your deer are gonna.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent idea for sure.
A destination food plot, because you've got a couple acres up there that could be.
Yeah, whereas this is a half acre. That becomes is 3 to 4 probably.
Yeah. So you can, bow hunt this as they're going to that other one, and hopefully catch you a big buck out here in daylight.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been a big fan of this plot. Kind of like I said, slipping between where you slip right in on their bedding area, and you give them what they want here, and that's the way that lays out there where that stands at. It's a perfect place to catch them coming and going back and forth.
And even if you are catching them out here in daylight, maybe not. You don't necessarily have to intrude on them so much if they feel safe here, because you can intercept them back this side of it to where they've already fed in, and they've kind of
it's a lot easier way to slip in and out.
You don't have
slip
to in and out, and you don't have to worry about getting too close.
Yeah,
because a lot of times those does, they'll bed within 25 yards of these food plots. And if you bust
I've been
a doe,
busted more than once coming in and out of here.
Yeah,
it ruins the hunt.
Yeah, access is 99% of your hunt.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah, but all right, we'll go back here and check out his current stand setup, and we'll see what's going on. So what do you want to do here?
Man, if you look around, like this plot and the same one that's over on the opposite side of the property, you'll see after a while, kind of like the landowner before me, what he had done, he just kind of quit paying a whole lot of attention to these, and you can see all this little stuff, this brush and undergrowth kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's crept in, and it's took what was probably a little over a half acre plot at one time, turned it into a little under, because you could take a dozer and come through here 10 yards back around the entire perimeter of this plot and just cut it out.
You've got a lot of small stuff that's a lot smaller than your arm.
Yeah, and it's not beneficial. There's nothing going to be produced off this, and so if I could make a circle around this and cut this back and have that much more room to plant, it's just that much more quality forage.
Yeah. And you could do that, and another idea that you might have is come in here and maybe just hack and squirt these. Hack them with a thing, spray a little killer in them, and kill them off. It'll take a year or two.
Yeah.
This small stuff, it may not take that long, but let them die out, and let that fall down, and then get you some natural vegetation that starts coming back up. You get kind of your grasses, maybe come in here and, you know, put some grasses around this edge. But that gives you more edge and security cover, you know.
Yeah.
I read a lot
that's
that
a good
they're
point.
preaching, you know, you want those stages instead of right now you've got a hard edge here. We'll come back 10 yards and feather it with some, you know, waist to tall high grass and some forbs and stuff to where they might feel safe coming out into that before they feel safe coming out into this, but where they can still be in there, they're feeding, they've still got security, but they've also can see into the plot and realize if something's happening or not. So, you know, you can come at it different ways. You could plant it full blown, but, you know, say you did want to expand the size of this plot a little bit, you can go ahead and do that. But maybe then still take it back another 10 yards and then let some natural, you know, get you some, you know, some kind of native vine or something like that that the deer would eat on.
Yeah, for sure. That's not a bad thought at all.
You know, let it get thick around those edges too, and then you can, you know, you've got 1, 2. Do you have any more roads or accesses coming into this?
To this food plot here, that one and that one are really your main access points.
Okay. Another idea you could have is because they can't access this, it's real easy access right now. Come in here and hinge cut this perimeter.
Yeah.
We can come in here with a chainsaw, and in less than a couple hours, we could blockade a lot of this off to where I can see you've got some hillside up here that's open. I guarantee there's does bedding on that hillside.
Oh yeah.
Block it off where they can't see. And then leave your openings be, you know, your opening you've got currently and your one other.
Well, see, I think that's an excellent idea as well, because just like I mentioned just a minute ago, that's all the bedding area here, and whereas all that property has been logged within 20 years, none of this property, it's never been touched, you know, when it comes to logging, and I don't have the bedding area that they've got, so I really rely a lot on food plots and things like that to draw them off the neighbor's property, so things like that would give me more bedding area for sure.
And you know that edge that we were talking about, that hinge cutting is going to automatically do that for you, because we're going to take these trees that are the size around your leg, these non-target species, your oaks or whatever, we're going to lay them down.
Yeah.
You know, we'll come in here with the habitat hook, and I'll pull them what direction we need to pull them, and we'll get them to lay perpendicular to this plot and just make us a wall around here.
Yeah.
But in turn, what you're doing is all of that forage, those trees will still live. All of that forage now is at their head level, to where they can eat on it. They'll get behind it, they'll bed, and then they'll come in. You know, maybe have 3 openings into this field. Maybe one right here, one back here.
Which is kind of like a man-made pinch point for a place to hunt over at some point too.
And then make it 20 yards from your bow stand. And, you know, not to say if a deer ain't in a hurry, he ain't going to run and jump right over that.
Oh yeah.
But they're still going to take the path of least resistance 9 times out of 10 if they're not pressured. So.
Yeah, you're right.
But we may hinge this if you want to. And
it's definitely something to look into.
You can always experiment.
Yeah.
Doesn't work this year, get your dozer out,
clear
it all out, and get you a bigger plot.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, now we kind of took a sidetrack. We'll make it to a stand eventually.
We'll get there.
So man, this is your main bedding.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty open.
Yeah. Yeah, I could use a little work.
Yeah. You can, down in here, I don't know what y'all can see on the camera, but we got a lot of low stuff, probably knee high, maybe less.
Yeah.
You know, you can see right now with it starting to thick up, you can see 50, 60 yards. And I mean, I could shoot 40 yards through here. Little too open, but this is kind of his main bedding area. And you know what? He's got a lot of small trees. One, you know, you can go at it a couple different ways. I would think you can come in here and cut a lot of these smalls out and just leave your big ones. Or you could come down through here and hinge your small ones and some of your larger ones. Maybe drop a couple of your non-target species large ones, and then fold your other ones on top of it. And you can make, you know, some canopy bedding if you wanted to. You know, try it out. It's all about experimenting. What your deer might and might not use. You know, drop that top one head height, create you a canopy, and then fold your other ones in on top of it, and you've kind of got this headroom where they can get up underneath it and bed. Or we can just lay them down the traditional way and let them get in there. But you know, you want deer to not be able to see real far. You don't want it, because right now I could see you walking to this stand from here.
Yeah.
I promise I could see you walking to your stand, and your stand's 80 yards away. And, you know, block their view of you. Block your scent from getting out through there too easy.
Yeah.
And the more crap you have for them to go through, the longer they have to kill time on your property. That's how you kill a deer. You get him to kill time on
Yeah.
your property.
Yeah,
So if
I
you've
know
got
that.
wide open like this, and if I'm a buck scent checking this bedding area, I can walk to the edge of this, look all the way across it, and if I don't see a deer, I'm gonna turn and walk to another one.
Yeah.
Think of that same setup, and if you've got a big hinge cut area, that deer's got to literally walk through this maze to get all the way through this to check and see if there's any does in here.
Yeah.
Especially if you're playing the wind right. So you've just created another hour that big buck's on your property.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good, you know, just a thought. But I think we could be in and out of here in a couple hours. We could have just this small acre little area, 40 yards off your food plot source, and you could have a pretty dandy little setup here.
Yeah, I think anytime you can have a bedding area coming right off the backside, food plot, where you know your access points on the other side, you can slip in and out easy. I think
Yep.
that's the perfect scenario.
Like we talked about, bed them here, let them hit this plot in the daylight, catch them going to the destination plot on the other side.
Yeah.
So we're kind of putting a game plan together.
Yeah, I think so.
And also, once they clear out of this bedding area, you know, you could also use this as kind of your back door because your cabin is not too far away.
No, this is definitely the closest place I'm going to hunt
Yeah.
as a cabin. So it's
You know, we can bypass this, come around, make us a path, and you can get out after they've gone past you instead of walking right through them again.
Yeah.
So, it's good looking property, man.
Appreciate it.
You've got a lot of potential here. You've already got some good bucks walking around. We just got to figure out how to hunt them.
Yeah, you got to get them to stay over here.
Hey, I heard GYT90 is pretty good at.
That'll do the trick,
Yeah.
man. I know
Tell me
guys
a little
that
bit
can
about
shoot
it. Tell me a little. A lot of people that, you know, like our page or whatever, they're always like, "What's GYT90?"
Yeah, man, I tell you what GYT90 is. What we do, we're a liquid attractant, where some people would tell you we're kind of like other guys, but we're totally different.
Yeah.
I promise you. Well, what we do, you're not going to see us put any water. We're a no water added product. We make our product from soybean oil and a blend of minerals that are all geared towards antler growth. The reason we like the soybean oil as compared to water is because, for one, it's going to smell a lot stronger, it's going to last a lot longer, and you're going to have way more nutritional benefits than you are out of a traditional, water-based mineral.
Yeah.
It's bar none, the best ingredient you can put in a mineral.
And you've got that extra boost from that soybean oil, I would think.
Yeah.
You've got that extra protein coming out of that soybean.
Well, the main thing that we really hit on that people don't really think about, but it's like I was talking to you earlier, and I was talking to one of my friends. He hunts up around the Ellington area. That's what you were telling me, man. Like right now on my GYT90 side, I've got deer coming. I'm getting 500 pictures in a night. And this guy from Ellington was saying, man, I'm getting like 2,800 pictures in a week.
Yeah.
It's because right now we are packed full of calories,
Which
and
is
it's crucial.
May
this time of
14th,
year.
by the way.
Yeah.
Everything's green. A lot of people think that this time of year they don't need nothing.
Yeah, and when I say that, I'm not just preaching it for no reason. I mean, in all seriousness, this is the time of year that your does need it.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to think about taking care of your does, but it only makes the most
Your
sense.
does make your bucks.
Yeah, in the long run, that's what's going to pay off. And right now, obviously, they're either carrying or they've recently dropped. They're getting closer to drop. They need more calories right now than they need any other time of the year. I mean, this is the most important, most crucial time because does are consuming the most calories they will all year long. Bucks are beefing up and getting ready for this next season. They're putting on new antler growth for this year. There is no better time for GYT90 than right now.
Yeah.
In all seriousness.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
Well, I know we're starting to become a believer in
Yeah.
outdoors. I know
Well, man, we
I'm
appreciate
getting the other guys turned on to it.
It's the real deal.
We spent many a year using the cheapest stuff you could find at Walmart or Academy or whatever. Not to say that it didn't work for a little bit on attractiveness, but it didn't last what GYT90 is. And I'm not paying any more for GYT90 than I am for.
And that's what I tell people,
Other brands.
is I'm not going to tell you, I mean, there's other ways, there's more than one way to skin a cat. We always say that. There's other things in the world that wildlife like, but there's nothing out there that they like as well as they like our stuff that's going to bring them the nutritional benefits that we're going to get.
You're killing two birds with one stone. You're attracting them with something that they absolutely love the taste of.
Yeah.
And you're supplementing them while they're at
Well,
it.
and it's like if you talk to these guys that raise, pen raising deer.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're all going to tell you your number one prohibitor of antler growth is stress. And what's your number one cause of stress in wildlife is a lack of food.
Yeah.
They're low on calories. They have no native forage, no consumption anywhere around for them. So if you look at our product and we've got 95% crude fat, okay, come back and look at that crude fat as calories. And so in turn, you're giving them all the calories they need. They're never short on food and they're never stressed. So you're going to maximize antler growth in your bucks as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it works on so many different levels.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to be using your products, and
We're excited to
talk on
have you guys using it.
a daily basis. So, guys, more than like, I'll try to put a description down at the bottom, a link to their website, and just just check them out. They're pretty local. I mean,
We got our start in Malden. We're now we're in Kewlin. We sell, man. I mean, right there in Poplar Bluff, where you guys are out of. We've got multiple locations. Go check them out. We'd love to have any of you try it. And our website, there's going to be a phone number that comes directly to my cell phone right here in my pocket. If you've ever got a question, feel free to call anytime. I'm always happy to talk about it.
Yeah. And we'll try to hook y'all up. Maybe we'll do another giveaway. We did one time, so maybe we'll team up and
Anything
give
we can
away
do
some
to get
more.
it, more
We
people
sent
can.
that one to East Kentucky.
Did you?
Yeah, that one ended up going to the mountains
Yeah.
of East Kentucky.
Man,
so,
we get some awesome stuff sent into us from Kentucky.
Yeah, they've got
We
some
really
good deer. But anyway, bud, we'll keep walking around.
Sounds great, man.
All
We'll
right.
keep checking it out.
All right, bud, we're in your destination plot. How many acres you got here, probably?
Man, if I was guessing from a couple hundred yards back that way to down as far as you can see, I'd say 2.5, maybe pushing 3.
Yeah, it's real good. You're fairly level. You've got slope to it.
Yeah.
But I think once, if you come up in here and we'll get you hooked up with Drop Tine Seed, and we'll try to get you some, I think Black Label Legume and Chicory is going to be your best bet. Low maintenance, just keep on it. That way you're not up in here, because this is a power line right away.
Yeah.
So you're limited on what you can and can't do, because you don't want to plant a bunch of beans in here and then you get a bunch of rain and the power company comes in here and ruts them all up for you. But you're what, 20 yards wide down through here?
Yeah, for the most part, stay pretty close to
Perfect security cover for the deer just to pop in, eat, pop back out. So, man, you mentioned earlier you've got a homemade blind.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you build your platform right here, kind of at this point where you can see down one side.
Back on the
And
flat.
what y'all can't see is we can see about 150 yards further, and it's a flat top going all the way back. So, and it kind of widens out a little bit at the end. But, get in here, plant it all up, and you can hunt this spot, get up in your blind, and the weather elements won't bother you. Your scent's contained for the most part.
Yeah.
You can hunt that in any kind of weather.
Yeah, well, it's, we figured out real quickly after we bought the place. I mean, even with no food here, it's just native vegetation growing up here. They like to bed here at times when it gets real tall in the late summer.
Looks like there's some wheat growing in here.
Yeah, it's an excellent place, especially for gun season.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see that for sure. And, you've got a couple little roads that fork out right through here. Like we talked about, let's blockade some of this and get those deer to try. You can't steer them all, but blockade it some to where you can get them to poke out here at 20, 25 yards from the stand.
Yeah.
Best you can.
Just kind of pinpoint them.
Yeah. I said, man, this is a good looking spot. You drop in probably 60-foot elevation going down. I mean, you're up above them here. They shouldn't wind you too bad. Because you're at the highest. Is this the highest spot on your farm?
This should be the highest spot on the farm.
Man,
You got a south facing slope.
man, look at that view.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
You
one of
got
my
there a
favorite
couple
spots
miles
on the farm.
away down Crowley's Ridge.
It's
Yeah,
a pretty
man,
place
it
to
looks
be out here.
good. We'll get her planted. We'll probably come in here late this summer, burn it, kill it off, burn it.
Yeah.
We'll figure out a way to scrape it the best we can.
Yeah.
I've got a mat. Worst case scenario, I've got an old mattress frame we can bring out here, an old harrow. We can just hook it up behind the four-wheeler and drag this.
Yeah, you really need to
Break-
scratch the surface.
Scratch the surface some, and then we'll get that clover and everything down, and we'll have us a killer plot here this
Yeah.
year.
I think it'd be an excellent place.
We'll might have to come up and do a little filming for you.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, you can do the turkey end up here. This is where the turkey's strut at.
Hey, you should have told me that a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago,
I
bud.
know I can't kill him.
All right, well, let's keep moseying around. We've only covered about 4 acres of this place.
Sounds good.